The Truth Girls.
Hi everyone. Have you ever wondered why is it that when there is a crazy shooter on the loose, law enforcement seems to hang back? By the time they come in, there have been a lot of deaths, such as in Orlando, also at Columbia Tech, hung around outside while the guy went around murdering people. And you may have noticed this seems to happen a lot, and you gotta ask yourself, well, why aren't the police going in to do something? People have this impression that if you have a problem, you call the police and they're gonna come and help you. I mean, after all, the slogan is to serve and protect. Unfortunately, it's been ruled by courts on more than one occasion that the police don't actually have a duty to protect you. They do have a duty to go in and investigate after the fact, but they're not obligated to intervene to prevent a crime. Justice rule, police do not have a constitutional duty to protect someone. What happened in this case was a woman called the police saying that her crazy ex or her estranged husband had their three children, their daughters, with him, and she was fearing for their safety, and the police did nothing till the guy showed up at a police station firing a gun with the three girls already dead in his trunk. And it was ruled that the police were not liable because they did not have a duty to protect anyone. Which is, you know, not what we've been sort of led to believe. I mean, if you're growing up watching TV, it's like, you've seen those cop shows where it's like, the cop knows that the bad guy's gonna do something. He's gunning his car down the highway, speeding there to get there before the bad guy gets in and does some harm. And as the bad guy is like just getting into the house and pointing his gun at the innocent victim, boom, cop opens the door, you're under arrest, or shoots him or whatever. Like he raced to intervene, but that is not reality at all. Wow, we're really brainwashed, aren't we? Now, reality is better explained in some of these articles here, which actually discuss what the law says about what the cops have to and don't have to do. And they talk about no duty to protect, two exceptions. As in, they know that you don't have a you, the police, whoever, don't have a duty to protect, with perhaps two exceptions. Like, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I just want to bring up a couple of things. Like, they talk about state-created danger theory. They say, by examining if officers left the individual in a situation that was more dangerous than the one in which they found him, by creating a previously non-existent danger or increasing the danger. So if they do something to actively make it worse, they could be liable for that, but not for just hanging back and doing nothing. It says the question is not whether the victim was safe during the state action, but whether he was safer before the state action than he was after it. And it says here, the Sixth Circuit requires the plaintiff to show that the state acted affirmatively to create or increase the risk that plaintiff would be harmed by a third party. The state's actions placed the plaintiff, not the general public, at risk, and the state knew or should have known that its actions specifically endangered the plaintiff. So it's like, unless the cops are actually doing something to make it worse, they're not liable. You know, gun rights activists have been aware of this for a long time. Just dial 911, the myth of police protection. Most police have no legal duty to protect citizens from criminal attack. So they make the case that, well, since the police aren't going to do it for you, people should have the right to carry weapons to defend themselves, because otherwise, you know, they're just sitting ducks. The government and the police in most localities owe no legal duty to protect individuals from criminal attack. When it comes to deterring crime and defending against criminals, individuals are ultimately responsible for themselves and their loved ones. They give an example here also of some women who tried to call 911 to get help, and nobody came. No, they were first assigned as a low priority call. They called back. Police never showed up. They ended up being kidnapped, robbed, raped, and beaten over 14 hours. When these women later sued the city and its police for negligently failing to protect them or even to answer their second call, the court held that government had no duty to respond to their call or to protect them. So there you have it. They have no obligation to protect you. Things happen like killing sprees or terrorism or anything, and people start saying, well, you know, calling for gun bans. It really makes no sense to me, because if anything, it's more of a reason that people should be able to protect themselves, since the police are not going to do it. It's not as simple as just calling 911 and the police will show up, bust open the door, and save your butt, because they probably won't. Let me know what you think. Thanks for giving me a thumbs up. Thanks for listening to me, and I'll see you next time.